Welcome back. As we earlier said, that during the 32nd session of the Arab League Summit that was held in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended on top of the Arab nations who participated, and each represented his country. And also his participation came within the framework of Egypt's concern in consolidating and strengthening the bonds between Egypt and Saudi Arabia and the whole Arab nations to reunite together under one stance. And also the summit witnessed the participation of Syria after years of suspension and the attendance of President Bashar al-Assad, and also a speech that was given by President Vladimir Zelensky. We're going to be talking about that in detail, but first there is a live, we have with us live over the phone Dr. Raouf Gaffar, our political analyst. Good morning, Dr. Gaffar.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, and yourself?
First of all, let us give a quick assessment of Algeria. Of course, was chairing the Arab League Summit earlier before Saudi Arabia assumed the chairmanship. So give us an assessment of the efforts that were taken before Saudi Arabia assumed the chairmanship of the summit.
Arab summits are always essential. I mean, they have been going on for ages now, and it is very important to repeat that, as you said, Arab unity, creating one front against all the challenges that are facing our Arab nations are things essential for the welfare of the Arab states. And efforts have been going on since the last summit, leading to the summit they are attending now. But again, in my opinion, the most important thing about this summit is that the efforts to bring back Syria into the Arab unity was extremely important. I mean, Syria has been absent for some time, and it was about time that to consolidate the front, Syria has had to come and take part of it. So let me say that things were going as planned in the last meeting, but in my opinion, again, this meeting will mark a landmark regarding the relations of the Arabs and the quantity of challenges that are facing our Arab world, given the worldwide crises that are happening.
Right. Also, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have given a very important speech before the session was kicking off. And he talked about various concerns that Egypt came with a package full of. He talked about the concerns of the Sudanese crisis, and he talked about Palestinian-Israeli settlement, and a priority, a Middle East peace process is put on the top of the agenda. And he talked about facing the world economic crisis, talked about many things, but mostly the solidarity between Arab people and Arab nations should be put at the forefront.
Absolutely. As you said, of course, he spoke about the just peace in Palestine. This was, of course, mentioned and stressed upon. He spoke about unfortunate Sudanese crisis, and he said that if it is not well treated and well taken care of, it might result into catastrophic repercussions, which we as Arabs don't want at all. He said that, I mean, it's about time to unite and see that all nations enjoy their own national unity, against the foreign interventions and which create chaos in different parts of the Arab world. Of course, he spoke about the water security. I spoke about the Renaissance Dam, and once again, this file is included now among the agenda of all summits, this one and summits to come, until a final solution is reached. As far as this is concerned, he said that integration and unity has to come back to the Arab world, and this was the only way that we can conserve our national security from one side, and to face all the challenges that are around us, and to take initiatives to solve all the problems that are going on around us.
Right, it's very obvious that Saudi Arabia, assuming the chairmanship of the Arab League, this session from Algeria, that Saudi Arabia is coming with a new agenda that is focusing mainly on including all Arab nations together, an agenda of a full understanding of the unity of Arab nations, and an Arab solidarity should be put front before anything, before economic interests, before any political interest, in order to exclude the foreign intervention. Saudi Arabia is a country who is coming and putting forward on the table the importance of doing things with our hands, and excluding any intervention that is being taken from an outer, an outsider from the region. Explain to us how important is that to the region?
Absolutely. First of all, Saudi Arabia is one of the major players and in the Arab world, and it represents a very strong political and economic power, and particularly that lately we have seen changes into a new Saudi coming up.
Exactly.
And so this is something that we have to stress upon. Of course, we have seen that interventions from foreign interventions have only created problems, crises, chaos, and they have not solved any problems. On the contrary, they have increased the agony of the Arab states. We have, of course, no need to mention, but we have 3 or 4 or 5 even, and maybe more now, countries that are suffering from the repercussions of foreign intervention under the pretext of establishing peace and security and democracy and what have you. But at the end, it only created a big dilemma in these countries. So it was time to join hands, join forces. The Arab world is full of resources, and once we integrate, then we can do a lot for our nation, of course.
Right. Mr. Raouf Gaffar, the economic and political analyst, would like to thank you so much talking to The Breakfast Show, and you have a good day. And by this, we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show for today. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again, once again tomorrow morning. That's a goodbye.